Alright guys, welcome to this video. Sorry for the low quality. If it is low quality, I'm making this recording with my phone. And we're going to do two things today. We're going to shoot two things, and we're going to test one thing. We're going to test out the 300mm f2.8L on the Sony A7 III with the Metabones 5th generation adapter. And we're going to shoot some things at an incredible distance to see how sharp they actually are. So, let me show you what we're going to be shooting today. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be shooting, way over there in the distance, you'll see a white building sticking out of the Toronto skyline, and that's the Bank of Montreal building, and there's letters on the side that should say BMO. So we're going to test out, see how sharp those letters are with the 300mm. And the next thing we're going to be shooting is way up there. That's no moon. I've always wanted to say that in a video. Star Wars! But anyway, yeah, we're going to test out the 300mm and we're going to shoot that moon up there, and we're going to see how sharp it is at 100%. So that's the plan for today. Alright, so here we are back in front of the computer, and this is the first shot we're going to be looking at. This is the Toronto downtown city skyline, and we're looking at that BMO building right there in the center right. This was shot with the 300mm f2.8 LIS, 1/25 of a second, f6.3, ISO 100. And that looks pretty good. And I just want to mention, these are this photo is a raw file converted to a JPEG with no sharpening, no color adjustments, no contrast, no nothing. So it's pretty much right out of camera. So let's jump into 100% and take a look. Alright, boom, that looks good. Look at that. You can see the BMO sign, no problem. You can even see the cables holding up the antenna on the roof. Wow, I wasn't expecting to see that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, really happy with this right out of camera. Now let me show you what this looks like with a little bit of adjusting in Lightroom to get the sharpening and the contrast bumped up a little bit. And there it is. Look at that. You can see the cables clearly. You can see the connectors on the cables. You can see the details in the antennas. You can read the BMO sign. You can see the windows. You can see the textures. Everything is super sharp, super clear. The 300mm f2.8 is a fantastic lens on Canon, and it works just as nicely on Sony by the look of this. And you could probably look into people's apartments and see what they're doing in there too. Alright, so now let's take a look at the moon. Okay, so here's the photo of the moon. Looks pretty good. Let's zoom into 100% here. And this was shot at 1/25 of a second, f2.8, ISO 100. And there's a lot of detail there in the moon on the surface that we can play with. And let me just run this through Lightroom and I'll show you what it looks like with a little adjustment. And there it is. It looks amazing. Look at the moon. Look at the details on the surface, the textures. Looks fantastic. Really happy with this shot. And the 300mm is a super sharp lens on Canon bodies, and looks like it's just as sharp on a Sony body. Now here's the thing, a lot of you have been asking me to test this lens out in action shot situations and get people moving around, and here you go. The moon is one of the fastest moving objects ever. No, I'm kidding. But I will do a lens test with this lens on this body with some action shots. I'll set up a soccer game or something, and that video is going to be coming maybe next week or so. I just have to set it all up. But for now, enjoy this shot of the moon. So there you go. The 300mm on the Sony with the Metabones adapter is pretty sharp. I'm impressed with those shots for sure. So that's it. I will see you guys in the next video.